But I did remove the master cylinder, pull out the pistons, not really hone, but just clean the bore, and just everything's fresh in there. And then on the bench, I wasn't planning on replacing these front wheel cylinders because they're not, you know, they're the good ones that are still in good shape. But so I take it apart. I immediately find this crud. This was the good ones. And what happens is the fluid gets old. It absorbs moisture, and yeah, it turns into that. So even though this is a quote-unquote good one, we may not be able to reuse it. Just take a square of Scotch-Brite and an old coat hanger, and I just spin it through there with some brake clean and some brake fluid, and if that doesn't clean it up, if there's a lot of pits, then it's going to need replaced. We're waiting on bearing inner seals and rear wheel cylinders because we know those are bad. They're just pouring fluid out. This entire system is getting a 100% flush and fill because it's just full of too much of this stuff. Whatever this is, any of it is too much, but it's throughout. But hey, safety first. So all this stuff kind of cleaned up, and I would consider using it. I ran the Scotch-Brite through it, and see, those, as bad as that looks, I'm not too worried about it, because that's where the alignment pistons go. The rubber doesn't really run there. The rubber runs in the middle, and you could see the ridge where the rubber mostly was sitting. And that ridge is right near a giant pit. So that means when your brakes are all the way retracted, it's not going to seal good. And as soon as you push the brake, and there's this first bit of pressure, it's going to squirt just a little bit of pressure or fluid out of there. And then you'll have brake pressure, which will be great. So for the first, I don't know, a couple thousand miles, couple months, you'll have brakes. But over the long haul, it's just going to gum up and fail. Everything else is getting replaced that's questionable, so these are gone. More stuff on order. It should be here Friday, which is only 2 days. So we're just going to put that on order and get back to work on something that is worth our time. Yippee.
Let's see what the brakes look like.
New hardware, springs.
Man, is that nice.
This
Okay.
There's supposed to be a little anti-rattle spring for this.
Oh, there's one over
missing.
There's one over there.
It's busted. And this, I think this might be,
I cleaned that all up with Scotch-Brite
yeah.
and water and soap. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I mean, it's not turned on a lathe, but
I don't love it, but these pads will clean it up.
oh
It'll
yeah,
definitely stop reliably.
oh yeah. How far is the adjuster up?
It is not out at all.
Okay, then.
Oh, I see. I had the self-adjuster blocking. Perfect.
Are you gonna adjust it out a little? Or are you gonna let the self-adjusters do it?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's dragging already.
Okay, all right.
It's brand new shoes. The good news is once we have fluid, we will have brakes.
Here we go. An unboxing that's really an unbagging. Nope, it's an unboxing. Something Kim ordered, so I don't know what it is. Looks like what it always is. Packing. Oh, this is nice packing. This is a sending unit for the gas tank. Oh, this kind of float. This kind of float I was saying I don't like. Yeah, that'll work for a while.
Well, it's the one they gave us, so.
Yeah, okay, so we got a new one of these, a new sock. I guess we can install. What makes that stay put?
It doesn't come with a clamp for the sock?
I don't know.
Boy, it does look like something's missing, doesn't it?
Looks like so.
Is there anything else in the bag? Trickery!
Looks just exactly like that. Looks like the tube's the wrong diameter for that.
Oh, maybe if you push it on further.
It just go
Push
shove
it
it
on
on there further?
Yeah, I'll bet
Oh,
you
yeah,
there's
there's
a
that thing
retainer
down
clip
there.
in there.
You were right.
Okay.
Okay, then
All
where's
right.
this thing? You know how all this goes.
All right, I'm going to go stab it in so that...
Is everything on top the same? They don't give you a new nut.
Boy, they're really chinsing lately. All right, it's been a couple of days, so we covered this up with some tape so that it wouldn't stink as much in here while we were waiting. Ooh, it's really gummy. Ooh, the back of the tape is super nasty. I didn't know that would be a thing.
You want some?
So I'm glad that we did that. Because hell bad it stinks. Okay.
Okay, you can reach there, can't you?
And
You can
then
reach there. I will put tools here.
just scoop a little bit over here, down there. My shoes you didn't have to
Oh,
wear.
that tape is nasty. I picked it up to throw it away.
Yep.
It's all over me now.
Alright, I can't hold the phone while I do this other part, but you see what it's about. That was way more of a pain in the butt than it should have been. Getting this to spin so it locks and be perfectly centered like it's supposed to be is some kind of new level of hell. It's on! We're going to hook up the sending unit. Assuming this wiring is good, we will have a fuel gauge, which is always a nice feature. And we will have a tank of whatever size this is, which is also a nice feature if we want to drive it. $50 later and an hour of knuckle busting, and we are in business. We've got a hook from this line to here with a new piece of rubber, some clamps, and that's another step down. And then I think we're going to be working with these things to get them up to a standard that is trackable.
Okay, there's your reason for unplugging all this shit.
It's getting to be a pretty fancy vehicle. It may just be a 6, but it's got lots of candy.
You know, I've been thinking, from now on, if I have project cars, well, I want that 318 poly a little bit. I like 6-cylinders. What you doing?
Recording us say goodbye.
Oh, we're saying goodbye to the car for the night.
Yeah.
For the morning. It is.
For the morning.
5 minutes to 3. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we started a little late. But we have 2 more brakes to do. And hydraulic lines. We have hydraulic stuff. And oh god, we have so much.
All in, aren't they?
Yeah, all the lines should be. Well, this line here might
this
be
one,
bad.
when you change the wheel cylinder, it'll get that line.
Yeah.
And
I got to do the other front.
did some cleanup, put more hooks, hung stuff up. Shop slowly gets better.
Yeah.
Slowly gets better.
Good night. Straight talk, people. The whole, let's see if I can get home with no brakes. There's no brakes at all. I'm driving. It was a funny bit. Like, it was, like, compelling. Like, oh my god, are they gonna... But, like, it's only fun when it's a bit. Like, you need to have brakes. And if you can't fork over $200 for the stuff that you need, don't buy an old car. There's other people on the road. You can get all new rubber lines, some new metal lines. Learn it and do it. Because even an experienced shade tree mechanic can make mistakes on brakes and have a failure. And it can become a danger. And that's, you know, that's life. But intentionally getting into a car that you know has no brakes and getting onto public roads. No, we're not talking about gravel, dirt roads. That's all in fun, driving around in the grass in the yard. But I mean getting on the highway. Like there's families and people and so many variables out of our control that we must, as an automotive community, make sure our brakes are working properly, lights, other safety devices. It just has to work on the roads. So please do that. We are working on the Valiant, and I'm ready to put the brakes back together. I got a big package of things, and we're just going to see what fits and what does not, and go as far as we can tonight.